I'm Brother Malcolm. I want to welcome all of you to another broadcast of Enlightenism Insights. I am a philosopher, a writer, and a speaker on Enlightenism. And my philosophy is one of self-acquired knowledge and clarity of the self. As you can see, I'm labeled and defined as an African-American man. But I'm more than that. I have discovered that I'm greater than the way people have taught me. But in order to discover it, I had to get some different knowledge. I had to learn about a knowledge that others didn't teach me about. That knowledge comes from quieting the mind with daily meditations, particularly in the morning and the evening, to quiet the mind, to calm the mind, so that you can become comfortable thinking in the mind. You can have the clarity and self-acquired knowledge to move beyond duality and confusion. You're no longer allowing others to define who you are. So once you allow someone else to define who you are, then you're no longer defining yourself. You are allowing someone else to tell you who you are and the conditions in your life. Think about it. If you're in a situation today, ask yourself, what is the cause of the situation? Your mind. That's the answer. The cause of all your problems come from the mind. And the mind contains information from parents and society. It's not that they wanted to punish or hurt us. My mother surely didn't want to hurt me, and I know that. She loved me. The same as your mothers and all of the mothers in the United States where I'm living. You want something better for the child. You want the person to achieve something different. So you prepare the child to live according to the way society has carved out a place for you to live. A little niche in the world where you're saying, this is who I am. Well, I've discovered by working in the mind, by dealing with meditations to quiet the mind, by having the audacity to look within the mind, to defy everything that someone has told me about who I am and what I represent to myself and to society. We have to be willing to let go. That's a challenging proposition for you today. It was for me, and it continues to be. To cleanse the mind of what others have taught you and replace that which they taught you with some new information. I used an example in one of my broadcasts, radio broadcasts, not too long ago, which you can listen to on Spreaker.com or Blog Talk Radio. You say, I go to either one of them, or you can listen to it on Facebook or any other social media outlets. The point I'm making is, I use an example of a computer. Several years ago, I picked up a virus in my computer. And I took it to several computer repair people to fix the virus or to get rid of it. They were unable to find the virus. So someone suggested, well, maybe you have a warranty on your computer and you can ship it back to the manufacturer. I checked and I had a warranty. Sent it back to the computer repair people that made the computer. They checked it, couldn't find the virus, did everything they could. I talked to the person on the telephone and said, we've done all we could to find the virus, and what we have decided is we're going to have to wipe your computer, the hard drive, we're going to wipe it clean. Take all of the data off of it. So it'll be like you have a computer with no data. A new computer. And I said, okay. I said, so where do we go from that? So, well, we have these types of system programs available. Though they offered me Microsoft 10 or whatever it was. 8. So you can use this and we will replace it. And then we will put data on the computer and start all over again. And you'll basically have a new computer. But see, you'll have the same data, the same information, the same system. And now you go back and reload the data into the computer. That made me think, when I was doing some work the other day, about, can I wipe my mind clean of what others have told me and then put something else into the mind that's entirely different, something that is new? See, something that is new doesn't mean that you are taking information that you've already used and placing it back into what you believe is a better mindset, a better environment in many cases. So we're going to make this a better person. That's not something new. That's borrowing information from somewhere else and using this information to believe, trick yourself into believing, hey, this is new. I'm a new person. A new person comes from a new belief system. Something that we've been unwilling to let go of. See, as far as I can tell in my own life, and that's the life I'm most familiar with. In fact, it's the only one that I'm familiar with. I can only observe the others. But when you cleanse the mind of the information that others taught you, that means cleansing it of everything, wiping it clean. So you want another language. You want another way to communicate more effectively. You want a new belief system. That means you have a new interpretation about who you are. That means that you believe that you can create a new person by self-acquired knowledge and clarity. But when you work in the consciousness and when you work in the mind, you're dealing with an invisible force where you are colorless, faceless, and formless in consciousness. And the meditations, when you deal with the meditations, you get the opportunity to feel this presence that I'm talking about, and that's clarity. You say, well, wait a minute. I feel okay. Regardless of what is happening in my life today, I know that I have the power to change how I think and live. I have the power to use self-acquired knowledge and clarity to cleanse the mind. So it's a different type of cleansing process. I'm a different type of philosopher. I'm not a philosopher in the traditional sense of either Western or Eastern thoughts or philosophy. That's why it has to be something new. And the only validation you need is the mind. For you to say, hey, I am whole, perfect, and complete. I am free of duality. I'm not some inadequate person. Notice when people talk about others and they define people by race and color and so forth, they use statistics to say this race is better, this person is better. You ever think about the people that are impacted? See, I was impacted by this belief system. And so are millions of you like me. And when you become impacted by something, it affects you. And the cause becomes someone telling you that you're inadequate, and you're believing it. So you set out to become adequate. You set out to meet a criteria that you didn't establish yourself, but a criteria established by society. This is what you have to do in order to be the person that we want you to be. And that was the life that I was living until I decided that I wanted to live my own life. And so to the millions of you in the United States of America, and I trust that millions of you will see this video for nothing else but to say for a moment in your life, I can do something about changing my own life. I can stop being a participant in my own victimization and my own powerlessness. That's something I can do. I can stop letting other people dump their problems on me. In my lap, people bring you problems all the time. Outside in television, radio, books, and so forth, they can bring you a problem and give it to you. And if you have the mindset, the same mindset, a similar mindset to the problem, you accept the problem all the time. Because that's the mindset that is interpreting what is happening. So someone can come and tell you today, unemployment is such and such and such. There's really violence in Chicago, violence in Oakland, and other places. And if your mindset is fertile enough in that toxicity, then you absorb the problem. And then you run with the problem according to the way it's been delivered to you. I used to hear people talk all the time about the violence in Oakland. Yes, there was violence in Oakland, in portions of Oakland, but not all of Oakland. The same as in Chicago. Same as in San Francisco or any other big city. And that's the way with the mind. But in terms of the mind itself, once you accept someone else's problem, then it becomes your problem. It becomes your challenge. And I encourage all of you to read this wonderful book, Enlightenism. It has great meditations in the book to calm the mind, to clear the mind of duality and confusion, to open the mind to understand that you can deal with self-acquired knowledge and clarity yourself to overcome what others have taught you. It's a great book. It's a part of the journey. It's a part of the series of books that I have written on the Enlightenism philosophy. And so is this book, The New African American Man. You really want to know something about a journey, this is the beginning of the journey. How it feels to be defined a certain way. How it feels to live without food. How it feels to have holes in your shoes in the rain. How it feels to be hungry most of the time. Overcome with lack, limitation, and struggle. How it feels to believe that you have been placed on the bottom of the world by divine power, which you have not. We are divinely created with power, and this power can allow you to say, I am greater than the I that I created. I am greater than all that others have told me about myself. I am the power to change how I think and live with self-acquired knowledge and clarity. I'm Brother Malcolm. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check back with me. I'm opening up a way of freedom for those locked into pain and suffering of generations of believing that the only way you can get power and freedom is to do what others tell you to do. Have a great day. See you back here soon.